Although opposition party workers are harassed. In our country also we can see this situation. Public protests and demonstrations against the government are declared illegal. As in our country also, a protest and demonstration against the government is often said anti-national, and the protesters and workers and participants that participate in the demonstrations, they are trapped in false cases and other obligations. Public protests and demonstrations against the government are declared illegal. There is a law that limits the right to criticize the president. Television, radio, and other means of media controlled by the government and give only the ruling party's versions. There are independent newspapers, but government harasses those journalists who go against it. In our country also this situation is prevailing, as we find the government has ignored some court judgments that went against it and has pressurized judges. Several decisions have come in our country also in pressure of the government. The example of Zimbabwe shows that popular approval of the rulers is necessary in a democracy. It means popular approval of the rulers is necessary in democracy. As in spite of several mistakes and several undemocratic things, popular approval the government has in our country. Popular governments can be undemocratic. Popular leaders can be autocratic. If we wish to assess a democracy, it is important to look at the elections. If we evaluate the democracy, then we must look at the elections. How is election held? How is election conducted? But it is equally important to look before and after the elections. What happens before the elections and what happens after the elections. On this basis also we can assess the democracy. We should be sufficient room for normal political activity, including political opposition. If citizens oppose politically to the government, they should not be harassed. If they are harassed or if protesters are harassed for the political opposition, it means that government is violating or violates the democratic norms. This requires that the state should respect the basic rights of the citizens. If the government does not respect the basic rights of the citizens, it means that is not democracy. They should be free to think. If citizens must be free to think what they think, that is their personal matter. In democracy, this right must have the citizens. To have opinions, to express, it means the citizens should have rights to think, right to opinions, right to express publicly, to form associations, to protest the government policy, and take other political actions. Everyone should be equal in the eyes of law. If law treats or behaves unequally to the people or unequally to the citizens, it means such democracy violates the democratic norms. These rights must be protected by an independent judiciary as our country has. Similarly, there are some conditions that apply to the way a government is run after election. A democratic government cannot do whatever it likes, simply because it has won an election. It means the government cannot do that it wishes because it has won the election. If government does so, it means it violates the democratic norms. Every office bearer has certain rights and responsibilities assigned by the Constitution. Every government office bearers should have rights and responsibilities given by or assigned by the Constitution. No office bearers can go beyond the rights and responsibility assigned by the Constitution. Each of these is accountable not only to the people but also to the independent officials. We shall read more about this in chapter 5 also. Thus we see that a democratic government rules within limits set by constitutional law and citizens' rights. It means that government may be democratic, that has limitations set by the Constitution, or that limits that is limited with the citizens' rights. Dear students, they are the key features of democracy. In next class, we will discuss about the merits and demerits of democracy. Thank you.